Hello! How are y'all doing? Wolf Alone, Manfred, welcome in. It's so good to see ya. Oh, whoops, I should be over here. How is the sound? Does everything sound alright? Dior does, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. How is everything? Have y'all had a good week so far? Spam Viking, hello. I started to lose my voice like 5 minutes before this stream started. You helped me with some damaged books I just got. Hey, hell yeah! Wait a minute, I don't want to say your name live on the internet, but I think I know exactly who you are. I am so sorry that happened, that they arrived damaged. I'm so glad that we were able to help you out. I got the new ones in and they're in perfect shape. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. That makes me really happy. I hope that you absolutely love them and you enjoy many adventures with the new books. Very, very exciting. The USPS may or may not have lost mine. Oh, geez. Hey, if you email us at product support, hang on. Shoot me an email at product support, and I'll try to help you. I'll see if I can track it down on my end. Please don't share my name. Okay, George F. Fields. I certainly will not share your name. Hey, Benjamin, welcome in. Thanks for coming on over from TikTok. I appreciate you. Uh-oh. I was live on TikTok, but then my app just shut down. I was trying to see if I could get some new people in from TikTok. Uh-oh, there we go. Never mind, it's all good. Gonna give it a few more days to see if it ever leaves moving through the system purgatory. Dude, I hate that shit. GaryCon is getting close. I'm so excited, dude. I cannot wait. We're gonna have such a great time. You are coming to GaryCon, right? Who all is coming to GaryCon? I'm here from TikTok. Oh, I know Benjamin. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on over. Welcome in. If you like what you see here and you want to join our little community, we do have a Troll Lord Games Discord. If you're new here in general, hey, New Age on TikTok, welcome in. Michael Cooper, so great to see you both. We're doing a live reading over on Twitch, twitch.tv/trolllordgames. And forgive me, you guys, my attention is a little bit split. I'm just trying to try to cast a net, you know what I mean? It's always nice to see some new faces. Just need to book a room. That is the thing to do, isn't it? It's impossible. Trying to find somewhere to stay in Geneva at around GaryCon is absolutely nuts. Speaking of, today being March 4th, this is the anniversary of Gary's death. So I've heard a lot of stuff around it seems like Troll Lord Games history is really, really tied. Whoa, our music is loud. Sorry, y'all. Let me turn that down a little bit. Gary Gygax and Troll Lord Games are just tied together. Troll Lord Games, I think, would not be what it is without the support and the guidance and the friendship of Gary Gygax and all of the rest of the trolls, obviously, and myself. Of course I never met him, obviously, but I don't know, man. I'm really, really, really grateful for all of the things that he initiated and helped build, including this company, He didn't just make games, he made dreams come true. He started ripples that carried through time and have changed so many lives. So I know that we're really, really pleased to be doing more work with the Gygax estate and like working with Luke and just doing everything we can to like stay true to his vision and like bring his work back so it can be enjoyed by more people. Spud, welcome in. And Savo and Robert on Facebook, welcome in. Thanks so much for stopping by. Amarillo D20, thank you, Gary, for bringing us all so much joy. Yeah, amen, you know. What is Troll Lord Games? I'm so glad you asked, Michael Cooper. Troll Lord Games is a tabletop role-playing publishing company that publishes a game called Castles and Crusades. And Shop Goblin, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. But GFW Kickstarter goes live next Monday, which will help ease the pain of having lost an hour the day before. For real, man. I'm so excited for the Kickstarter to go live. I can't even tell you. I mean, I don't want to like immediately transition from like talking about Gary's legacy to the Kickstarter because like I don't like tying, you know, like personal relationships with like something like a Kickstarter, but like we're really excited. We're really, really excited. We really believe in these books and cannot wait to bring them back. I think that you guys are going to be really pleased. We just saw some of the like new cover art for the World Builder series, and I think you guys are going to be really, really excited. What's the basis of the game? Is it like D&D? It is. And Michael, please come hang out on Twitch. We're live on twitch.tv/trolllordgames. Castles and Crusades, if you're new here, it was actually like an early progenitor of 5th edition D&D. But it's basically, it's a little bit more like swords and sorcery, like a little bit more brutal, but also way more like creative, in my opinion. There's some rule changes that allow you to just, it's just more like storytelling focused than D&D. When you brought up the Kickstarter, my wallet ran screaming and crying from the room. Oh God! Not this! Creative and more streamlined rules. Exactly, yeah. You don't have, like, for instance, you don't have skills like, you know, investigation and animal handling and survival and all this stuff. You just have your 6 basic stats. And, hey, Mackenzie, welcome in. So good to see you. If you want to accomplish a task that you have to roll a skill check for, in this game it's called an attribute check, you can make an argument to use whatever skill that you want, and you can flavor it however you want to accomplish that. And I think that just as a system, so I'm speaking as someone who just wrapped recording for our very first CNC campaign. It was so much fun, and I felt like I was in that story more than I have ever felt like I was in a story in a tabletop RPG before. Mackenzie, welcome in. So good to see you. Hi diddly hi, neighbor. Well, howdy do. Are there any plans to reprint Hall of Many Pains? Hi, and thanks for being here. DJ, welcome in. There are, and it's very exciting. Let me actually pull up on our website here. We have a little bit more information about the specific projects that are returning that I can talk about, because I don't want to accidentally say things that I can't talk about. The swimming rules in CNC are brutal. Water is fatal. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about a TPK at any table until we have to, like, cross a river. It's bad. It's really bad. That is awesome. I used to play similar when I was younger, so much more immersive. Yeah, people have compared it to, like, 2nd edition D&D. Is that the most apt, you guys? I have not played 2nd edition D&D myself. but it's definitely a little bit more like simplified, streamlined, and the focus is on you, the player, and the story that you're telling. You can't break Castles and Crusades. That's another thing. Like in D&D, you get a lot of power gamers, and people that want to like feel like a superhero. And while that's cool, and while you do feel like a superhero in C&C, you feel like a superhero in C&C because you triumph over like impossible odds and think on your feet and collaborate with your teammates and are rewarded for like taking calculated risks and being creative. And in D&D, you can just build a crazy build and like win, you know? Yep, that's what I played, 2nd edition, and it was way more brutal. Dude, I'm telling you, follow Trollord Games on any platforms. We're live on Twitch right now. You can come join our Discord, learn a little bit about it. I think you might really like it, especially if you liked 2nd edition. Even if it's not official, Kothar talks about it. Hall of Many Pains. It's, Jeremy talks about it enough on Thursday streams for it to have stopped being a secret long ago. Super fair. I know that I've heard them all talk about it on stream. BECMI Rules Cyclopedia would be my comparison. What is BECMI? I've not heard of that one. And you don't get 80 bazillion versus death rolls to avoid getting your feelings. I would say it's more like 1st edition just due to classes. Illusionist is its own in 1E, where it's a specialist mage in 2E. That's fair. I've played one game of 1st edition ever, and it was with Jay, Lord Gazumba. And I would totally play that again. That was so much fun. Savage, welcome back for month 9, my friend. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Last Monday, I said that there was no way the trolls could keep quiet on the Kickstarter raffle, and right away on the Tuesday stream, Steve spilled it. Oh, yeah. I mean, we were dying to talk about it. Hey, Chase, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome in. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. We are eventually going to get started with the reading, eventually. There has to be a designated period of, like, fuckery first. You know how it is. Basic, expert, companion, master, immortal sets. I have not heard of that ever, I don't think. What is that? Gaming is first a social activity. Oh yeah. Like, so I'm proud of this. The way that I explained it to my grandparents, who I think at first, like, didn't get it when I told them that I was playing tabletop RPGs. I told them that, like, the point of it is not to, like, escape from reality, whatever. Sorry, excuse me. It's collaborative, long-form storytelling. I think that's a way more, like, business casual way to explain tabletop RPGs. And it is. I mean, you learn so much about how to interact with people, and I mean that seriously. Mandatory fuck about time like a proper troll. Thank you very much, Mel. I'm learning fast. From the best. Also, welcome in. It's so good to see you. You never rolled. It's D&D. Do you mean the BECMI? BECMI is D&D. Okay. Those were D&D sets written by Frank Menser in the 80s. BECMI were box sets coming out of the end of 1st edition, 2nd edition with the parallel but slightly simpler rules. By the time they finished it, it was a separate system. That's hella cool. I didn't know that. This is the thing that is excellent about streaming to people that are smarter than you, is that I learn everything that I want to know from you guys. I missed the 2E discussion, it seems. Just throwing in, with the exception of 5 total sessions of 3.5 and 4E, I exclusively played 2E until 5E released. I did not know that. That's really cool. Mackenzie, how many years have you been playing? Because I don't know if I've actually ever asked you that. Mackenzie and I played in a game together and it was awesome. I meant to ask last stream, will the trolls be attending the New York Tabletop Expo in Long Island in April by chance? We might be represented there, but I don't know if, like, Stephen Davis and all of them are going. I think Chuck might have volunteers there. It's a maybe. Hard maybe. If I had my druthers, the answer would be yes to all of it. Oh shit, God. The answer would be yes to everything. Thanks for the info, I'll check it out. I hope you do. I hope you love it. And thanks for stopping by. I've been playing since I was 8. That's so fucking cool. That's awesome. 23 years. Jesus Christ. Man, I love it. Like, just, I don't know. So I started really late. And so, like, people that have been playing for decades, I just, like, I want to get inside your brain and pick your, get into your knowledge of, like, everything. Hope to see someone there then. Yeah, I hope so too. I will actually ask, because I think we should be at more cons. I know Chuck feels the same. I'm pretty sure. You guys will be at Origins in Ohio, right? Good question, actually. Maybe. We might be. Maybe a similar situation where it's like, we'll have volunteers there. Maybe. I'll ask. I'll see what just, like, our plans are, because I would like to know that. But we've had nearly 20 minutes of fuck around time. I think it's probably about time to dive back into our live reading. And for those of you that, those of you that have been here before, welcome. It's more of this. Those of you that are new, welcome in. Every Monday, we do a live reading of fiction. Sometimes it's narrative fiction, like books and short stories. Other times, we read through the Codex of Aihrde, which is what we're doing today. Really one of the best players I've ever played with. Time spent playing be damned. Oh man. Dude, that means a lot. That really means a lot coming from you. Let me tell you guys something about Mackenzie. Her character Snibbles. She played this character who was a gnome named Snibbles, and I no lie, I have cried tears over Snibbles. Just, like, the depth that you brought to the game. I still think about the time we were playing on, like, a flotilla. It was like the world was flooded, and our party lived on boats their whole lives, basically, except for Snibbles, who had lived before the flood and remembered what it was like to, be on solid ground and who longed for that. And, like, the first time we found an island in that campaign, Snibbles, like, dug their toes into the sand and said, "I assure you this is how we were meant to be." And just, it's like tattooed on my heart. Just those moments that, like, it's one line of dialogue or one description of what they do, and, like, the whole character is wrapped up in that. And Mackenzie, you're a delight, and I loved playing with you, and I hope that we can play together again soon, because that was really, 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 really great. Brad, welcome back for month 13, my friend. So good to see you. Man, okay, I'm sorry. I was about to get started, and then I got sidetracked because I'm emotional over my buddies. Okay. So we are reading through the Codex of Aihrde. And It's basically just a history of Aihrde, which is the setting that is published by Trollord Games for Castles and Crusades. Of course, like with any tabletop RPG, you can play it in whatever setting you want, but this is just the one that TLG has published. I actually have a big map here. Check it out. This is not even the whole world. This is not even all of it. That is like 1/16 of Aihrde. It's a region called the Lands of Ursal, which is my favorite personal region of Aihrde. You finally got your map of the Lands of Ursal. Yes. Actually, if you get the Codex of Aihrde in the store, it comes with a really great map. So hey, check it out. You should pick that up off the flare before Trouble finds. Trouble did not know what to make of that map. He doesn't like things that are like bigger than him, so he wasn't sure what to make of it. But anyway, I'm so sorry. So we're going to be reading Codex of Aihrde, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So this is a really great stream to body double to if you have like a task that you want to do. If you want to like clean your room or do some homework or paint or read along or do literally anything. World build, we're here for it. Get cozy, get yourself a beverage, and I'm just gonna read some stories. Thank you for being here, and cheers. Late crew mortal, welcome in. Narhite and the Frost Giants. When the All-Father left the Forge of God, he left behind him men and giants. These wandered the wide world in bands large and small, without home or guidance. It was one such giant, Orgelmir, whom Narhite found in the woodlands of the north. Large and cruel, the giant terrorized any creature he found upon the road. He boasted that he was one of the Allfather's that he was one of the first of the Allfather's creations to accept the breath of life. And as such, held a place above all other peoples. I'm so sorry. If I completely lose my voice, then we'll just do a just chatting stream. He was one of the first of the Allfather's creations to accept the breath of life, and as such held a place above all other peoples. Narhite followed Orgelmir upon his journeys. Realizing that the giant grew ever crueler the more aggravated he became, the Lord of Chaos took the form of a hummingbird and followed him closely, buzzing in his ear. The giant slapped at the bird, but never struck it, for the god was too fast. Man, I might not be able to do it. I'll keep trying. Thank you guys for being patient with me. The giant ran from the bird, but could not get away. He dove into the water to escape, but when he came up, the bird remained. Narhite hounded the giant until madness took him. This compounded his natural evil so that he launched a reign of terror like none in the woodlands had ever known. After some time, Narhite grew bored of the giant and bid his mistress, Imbricius, to take up the challenge. Seeing the giant, she devised a clever plan and promised Narhite she would do his bidding. Instead of honoring her promise, she bedded the giant. What page is this on? This is on page 198 of After Winter Dark, the Codex of Aihrde. Instead of honoring her promise, she bedded the giant and bore him many sons. She gave to her progeny the gift of immortality and set them upon the world. They were every bit as cruel as their father and as wicked as their mother, but their cold hearts could not stand the warmth of the sun. Imbricius gave her ice-hearted children a home beyond the northern wind that lies in the tall realms at the top of the world, where the maelstrom is closest to Aihrde. There, her giants gathered in their halls of wood and stone, and made weapons for war, and brewed potions from storms. Imbricius taught them to master the winds, and bring storms of ice and snow down upon the worlds of man and dwarf. Her children proved cruel and heartless, reveling in the pain of others. Without cause or warning, they would conjure blizzards of cold and fall upon any in their path. Those who survived the initial frosty onslaught, they hunted for sport. The giants took to using sleds drawn by bear, elk, and other creatures strong enough to pull them, and capable of enduring wicked colds and numbing frosts. These were the frost giants, Imbricius's brood, and they bring the winter's blizzards and snowstorms. Of Aihrde and the Red God. As is told, Orndul mined all the deep places of the world, and set there precious metals and gems of his own design. These he buried in the rock so that none may find them, for they were his most precious creations. But more, he imbued the precious metals with his own desires, casting enchantments upon them so that any who handled them ran the risk of being cursed with the desire to possess it ever after. These precious gems, gold and silver veins, and other metals lay hidden from all for many ages. In time, the dwarves delved deep, even to the roots of Mount Austrian, and unearthed a vein of platinum. The metal was new to them, and they marveled at it. It was malleable, taking shape easily, and they fashioned all manner of things from it. They hungered for it, taken by the curse of Orndul, and they began to quest for it everywhere they went. The other kingdoms became aware of platinum, and they too sought the precious ore. Soon, the dwarves found silver, gold, and gems as well, and they kept these discoveries to themselves. During the long reign of Aihrde, the wealth of First Home grew by leaps and bounds, and it was that wealth that drew Narhite, Lord of Chaos. He came then to the halls of the king to see what might unfold. Aihrde was young in those days, and entertained Narhite during his visit. "How and from where do you come? For we have seen no creatures like you before." "In truth, you seem to be as the men who dwell upon the shores of the Sea of Erin, but your hair is wild, and your face fell. O Lord of the Underdeep and King of Halls, I am Narhite, a thought of the Allfathers from the beginning of time. It was ever my task to apprise the Allfather's children of the dangers of the world, and to aid them where I can." Aihrde mistrusted the creature before him, and said as much, to which Narhite replied, "It matters not to me, O Lord, for I shall live from the beginning to the end, and nothing may hinder me. I shall take my leave of you, and let you guard your gold as you will." At this, Aihrde grew suspicious, for he sensed a hidden threat. "Guard our gold against who? You?" Narhite's laughter carried far and wide through the hall, and it carried a fear that all creatures have of decay and age. Of me, O Lord of Halls, no, for I have no desire upon such things, but my brother does. Orndul, the Red Bull, god of the shadows, for his hand fashioned those items you claim, and he claims them for his own. I've not heard of this god of shadow, nor do I see anyone laying claim to our gold. Then, enjoy it while you may. I'll have no mendicant's words spoken here. Be off with you, Narhite, for I see your intent is greater than your words, and your words alone are mischief. Narhite bowed low and turned to leave, but at this the host of dwarves clamored to hear his piece. Let him speak carried through the hall, and Argrind acquiesced against his better judgment. Narhite told the tale of Orndul's rebellion against the Allfather and the forging of the Ember Sword. He revealed that the Red God was, even now, building a fortress at the world's end and binding the dead to serve him. And the dwarves grew fearful, not for the loss of life, but the threat to their halls and the wealth they had accumulated. Missing from Narhite's speech was any mention of Corthane, or his design to keep a watchful eye upon the world of the Allfather, or Mordias, or any of the other Val Ericun. The dwarves then clamored to know what Narhite knew of this threat, and Narhite knew he had seeded their minds with doubt. Argrind held up his hand until there was silence in the halls. There is much you tell us, but I sense there is more that you do not. I bid you again to leave our hall and our kingdom and never return, for I do not trust you, and sense in you a willfulness not held by any other creature, great or small. Narhite bowed into smoke and was gone, leaving only the echo of his voice to haunt the dwarves. The dwarves were amazed and wrathful at Argrind, shouting that he had spoken wrongly and abused the visitor, driving him from the chambers when they could have gleaned more information from him. Argrind dismissed them all, except for the greatest smiths, and he took counsel with them and them alone. For many weeks they spoke, and planned, and then set to constructing a massive store of weapons and armor. For years they labored, using all their craft to perfect weapons to defend their halls, and mansions and armor to house their bodies. They forged plate and chain, shield and helm, and decorated their armor with rings and inlaid brass. Axes and hammers were their favored weapons, but they forged swords and spears and daggers for their arsenals. Argrind himself found a large piece of Eargild metal, that ore that once comprised the Allfather's hammer, and this he fashioned into an axe of wonder and beauty. The axe of the Allfather became the heirloom of his house for many centuries, and the greatest of all the labors of the dwarves. All this while, they mined and dug up the precious ores of Orndul. At long last, the Red God learned of the theft of his gold, even as he set his servants to labor ever harder on fashioning the walls and chasm of his homeless house. He rose to seek redress from the dwarves. But Narhite found him on the road and called to him, "Brother, where do you go in such wrath? Thieves have made off with my treasure, and I'll have it returned." "The dwarves are not thieves, my brother, but the Allfather's chosen people. Be wary, for in them is a power you cannot contend with. They possess the iron of the Allfather that is in all things he loves. Doubt came over Orndul at that moment, and he wondered at the power of the dwarves and what secret the Allfather may have given them. None may stay my hand, Narhite. None alive, none dead. As you say, brother, but be wary. I would not see you humbled as before when Tefnut drove you from the world. The Red God paid no heed and passed along his journey. Orndul, then young and full of power, came to the halls of the king, and Argrind Dark-Eye faced. And the scar-faced god... There is a typo. He faced Argrind Dark-Eye and heard his words. There's a typo in here, sorry. Orndul wove a spell around his language, using his tongue to bemuse and fool Argrind, for it came to him that these folk were numerous, powerful, and young, and he desired them, for with their power he could exact his vengeance upon the gods. Argrind, however, was full of the power of the Allfather, and had thoughts only for him, and nothing walked or crawled upon the earth that he feared. The king laughed. The king laughed the Red God off, and forbade the god the right to remain in his halls. In rage, Orndul turned upon the king. You have stolen that which is most precious to me. You must offer payment or suffer my vengeance. I'll suffer nothing by your hand, not torment nor death, but enjoy it as a fair wage for this wealth that you claim was yours. The Red God rose in his wrath, and the room fell to shadows and darkness. Fool! And so Orndul drew forth the Sword of Embers, and moved to strike the king dead. Now, however, the Council of Narhite came to fruition, as the Chaos Lord knew it must. Argrind drew forth the axe of the Allfather and met Orndul's blow. The host of dwarves donned their mail and joined the fray, falling upon the Red God. They hurled themselves upon Orndul in a blind rage, and the Red God slew them where he met them. Some fell by his gaze alone, others to the Sword of Embers, so that the halls ran with blood for days after. And lo, Argrind, cased in iron, used the axe of the Allfather to drive his foe from the room. Orndul fell beneath the strength of the Irgild, seeing in it the fire of the Allfather. The king's attack carried the echoes of Narhite as they lingered in the great hall of the dwarves. Orndul, unrecovered from his wars with the gods, his mind full of doubts from Narhite's whisperings, feared that these were the chosen of the Allfather, and that perhaps the Allfather himself might come to their aid. The Red God fled the halls in a rage, cursing the dwarves, the world, and the Allfather himself. So this next story is one of my favorites, and I think that we're going to go ahead and read it next time, because I feel like I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. So we're going to end a little bit early. Gotta feel good to chase off a god. No lie. Honest to God. That would rock. We appreciate the one story. There were a couple. I think I did 2. Yeah, I got 2 in there. And then next time we will get back to it. Thank you guys for your patience and for hanging in there with me while I was trying to see if I could like rally my voice a little bit. I don't know what happened. I think it's just allergy season. That's a pretty cool story. I love that story. Like, I think Argrind might have been the only mortal to stand against Orndul and like defeat him, technically. I think that's true. I don't know if it's true. If you lose your voice, remember to check under the couch cushions. I once found 57 cents in an errant Cheeto. I bet my dog has it. I bet he took it. He takes my socks, my voice. But we are going to hop off here. We'll be back tomorrow with an AMA with Steve. If you have not already, definitely sign up for early notifications for the Gygaxian Fantasy World series. They're awesome. It's an amazing resource for gamers, writers, history buffs, anyone who does anything creative ever. You will find a lot of use in these books. So sign up. If you back the Kickstarter within the first 48 hours, you'll be entered into a raffle for a Eastmark folio, which is like a setting book, I think. I'm pretty sure. They kind of explained it to me. And then you'll also get about $150 in free product if you back within 48 hours. So check it out. And we're gonna go and we're gonna rest and have a lovely evening. Thank you all again. This was so much fun. I always love doing this and I can't wait to come back next week. And that's about it. Thank you guys. Mwah. Trolls.